As the busy summer of soccer continues, the spotlight now shifts to Carson, California in the USL's Western Conference as the LA Galaxy 2 get set to do battle with their rivals, Seattle Sounders FC2, tonight right here on ESPN+. Hey everybody, great to have you along with us for USL action. I'm Christian Miles, and no doubt a very dramatic day over in Russia at the World Cup, but back here in the United States, a little bit different, but very high stakes for both of these two. Los Dos coming in 11 points off that 8th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference, in the wrong half of the Western Conference standings. However, the good news is they find themselves 1 point and 2 places above their visiting foes tonight. Seattle Sounders FC2 just second from bottom in the Western Conference on 11 points, finding themselves in the 16th position. This is a vital game for both of these two, are on the outside looking in, and 3 points very much a must if they realistically want to keep themselves in playoff contention. Seattle coming off a disappointing loss last weekend, 4-1 losers in Las Vegas to the Lights. Meanwhile, Los Dos very busy, their third match in 8 days, and coming off a Wednesday defeat in Oklahoma 2-0 to the Roughnecks, down to 10 men, which saw Hugo Arellano sent off, and off the back of 3 consecutive defeats, Mike Munoz and Los Dos know that they need maximum points, not only to keep themselves realistically in the title race, but also, of course, for morale's sake, just a sense of confidence is what they need. And in need of goals, you could say as well. This is a Los Dos team that have gone 3 consecutive games without finding the back of the net. Ethan Zubak already amassing 2 hat tricks this season, but the goals have dried up for the LA Galaxy 2 striker, and he's going to be one of a series of changes rung in tonight as the Galaxy rejig their front line, looking for inspiration and creativity going forward. Zubak available as a substitute, but he will make way for the youthful phenom Efrain Alvarez, who will form that partnership up top with Lopez. But first things first, we look at Sounders, and a team also starving for goals right now. They've only found the back of the net on 13 occasions, but if anybody's going to get them for them, leading the line is going to be number 74, David Estrada. The former UCLA Bruin has been known to put it in the back of the net in his career. In fact, was the top goal scorer in the entire country as a high schooler way back in the day, and now trying to find his footing up top. The 30-year-old indeed vastly experienced. On the other side of the coin here for the Galaxy, a little bit deeper in the park, is the talented German Julian Buscher in his first season with Los Dos, already amassing 5 assists. That's top on the team, but he provides the steal as well as the distribution, and how he goes, so could too Los Dos in terms of their midfield output and that link from defense to the attack. Connecting the lines has been a problem, so we will see 6 big changes tonight here for Mike Munoz as he looks for better form here on their home ground, which has only seen them register 3 wins in their first 7 games in this young USL season. All is not lost. Plenty of time for these two to rescue their hopes, but the time is now as we hit the midpoint of the campaign. 16 games down for both of these two, or rather 16 for the Galaxy, just 13 games played for Seattle Sounders. And that does put a little bit of extra pressure here on the home team, looking to make amends and trying to catch the likes of the Colorado Switchbox FC. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but keep it right here on ESPN+. When we return, we'll take a look at the starting lineups, and we'll kick it off. It's LA and Seattle next.
Oh, goodness me! I love LA! Going in on the play, Kobe Jones scores!
Yo, you wanna meet me in the East? Yo, you wanna meet me in the West? Yo, you wanna meet me on the block? Yo, you wanna meet me in the South?
Donovan, 4 points, score! Unbelievable goal right there, a classic David Beckham goal. Sandrini feeds that in, a little low touch, and what a goal that is from Giovanni Dos Santos. sensational. The Los Angeles Galaxy are rampant. Alessandrini cutting back. Alessandrini! How sweet it is! The Los Angeles Galaxy have their reward.
Going forward is a Frenchman. He's tired. Sedin is going to catch up to him. What a ball and what a finish!
Now Keane, flag stayed down. Robbie Keane, yes! The Los Angeles Galaxy are the first to 5, and Donovan goes out a champion.
Well, a hot summer's night in Southern California, a beautiful evening for USL soccer as we begin to think about the playoffs and the postseason at the midpoint of the campaign. Happy to have you along in a busy time of year for soccer here on ESPN Plus as the spotlight falls firmly on the Western Conference. The Seattle Sounders FC2 trying to stop the rot. We talked about 3 consecutive defeats for Los Dos, the LA Galaxy not faring well. Likewise, the story here for Seattle, who make a whole host of changes. We'll take a look at it. It's Fowler in goal. It'll be Alfaro coming into defense. That will push Francisco Narbonne a little bit farther up as we get underway. And the Galaxy trying to make some inroads here behind Luisis Yanez. And this will come out for a Seattle goal kick. So rejigged lineups here, and it's really an interesting choice in goal right now, a little depleted. And you see the young 17-year-old Sam Fowler making his Sounders professional debut, just 17 years of age and 6 feet tall. He has the size and physical attributes. Now the point is, can he put it together? Certainly a huge moment for this young man. First corner taken by Mostel, sent into the danger area and cleared away by the defense as it pops out wide for Jeffrey Arcampong. The Ghanaian-born midfielder finds its way to Efrain Alvarez. Good-looking overlap here on the cross, volleyed in and beautifully saved. A wonderful hit by the Galaxy's Ulises Yanez, but foiled by Fowler, who passes his first test. Just a brilliant setup here from the Galaxy to carve open this Seattle defense, which has been charitable this season, conceding 25 times. Once called into action in a great diving save that time from Fowler. So Seattle struggling for possession early doors here as they link forward for Jesse Daly, the young Australian, and a free kick here for Seattle. So a touch back over to the right back, Sam Rogers, one of those whole hosts of changes today for head coach John Hutchinson, the 38-year-old Australian who's taken over for Ezra Hendrickson. Interesting choice of tactics right now for Seattle. They're going to go with a 4-2, or rather a 4-3-3 setup, a straight-up 4-4-2 setup tonight for Mike Munoz, and a real strong physical challenge at the center of the park on Arcampong, who's brought to ground. So a free kick for the Galaxy, and the first booking of the afternoon will be dealt to Jesse Daly, who has been involved early on. Daly certainly came in full-blooded. Just a little bit behind, and no doubt about it, correct call made by the referee. So not the start that Seattle was looking for. We'll see how Los Dos reacts after that disappointing 2-0 loss on Wednesday night away to Tulsa. It's a team that's only found the back of the net on 23 occasions. Good enough for 9th best, but an interesting statistic on that. Of those 23 goals scored, 15 of those have come here at the StubHub Track and Field Stadium, so perhaps that does bode well. Good play on the right-hand side, broke it up nicely by Seattle's Daly, and the Sounders will have the free kick. Quickly taken now, looking for that link up top. Nice little turn from number 37, Shannon Hopio. Played out wide now on the left-hand side for the Sounders. Mentioned their poor run of form coming off a disappointing loss to Las Vegas Lights. They did have that big win back earlier in June, 2-1 over OKC Energy, but that's their only win in their last 7 games. Just compounding the misery was last night's heartbreaker in the Cascadia Cup clash against the Portland Timbers, and the Sounders lost 3-2 in the Emerald City. And a touchback for Justin Vormsteeg. What are those 6 changes tonight for head coach Mike Munoz? After a shaky beginning, it's Seattle enjoying a good spell of it, settling in. Push to the center now for Arkeampong. Plays it out wide. Tested that Galaxy midfield tonight. No Andre Zonga to partner. The usual Julian Buscher will drop in, and the German on it right now. Sends it out wide. Pushes it for Emmanuel Apia. Apia looking long, trying to pick out the likes of Frank Lopez. It's well defended from Seattle, and the referee not interested in a penalty kick at all. Looked to be a little bit of a shove in the back on Frank Lopez. The Cuban able to get him behind and utilize his pace well. As we take a look in that 1v1 battle with Tony Alfaro, vastly experienced. Just a little shove to the side, but close, but no cigar.
If you can't fucking play here, just hit it.
A moment ago, the chance coming. It was set up nicely by the Galaxy, really poured on the pressure, and Lopez once again foiled by Fowler. The ensuing corner kick taken by G2. And disaster averted so far as it's set up field here on this near side for Hopiel. The Hawaiian-born winger who provides all that width down this right-hand side. A little too hot to handle for the former University of Washington Husky, Henry Wingo, who's got speed to burn. It'll be interesting to see how this match is decided in those wide areas. There's so much of that pace out there for the Sounders. Galaxy have a few tricks up their sleeves as well. Push to the center of the park now, and Seattle going the direct route, trying to set up top for Estrada. Out comes Vormsteeg, who did really well to read that one. Vormsteeg now getting just his 7th start of the season in relief of Wade Hamilton, who's gotten the nod more times than not, but in the space of 3 games in 8 days, Mike Munoz opting to rotate his side and look for those fresh legs in the dog days of summer. And it's worked its way out for Yanez, who's done really well to keep it in. He's been the creative fulcrum, sends that one to the near post, and Lopez a little late on the run, making it easy for Fowler in that Seattle goal. Seattle team looking for their first win on their travels, and possession coughed up once again, and here it's Lopez, leaves it back. Buscher onto the scene, twisting and turning, leaves it back for Arkeampong, who fires, and that one just high.
Come on, boy.
Not off by much. Arkeampong, who's well traveled at just 21 years of age, spending last year with Veracruz down in Mexico.
Hey, watch the short.
Galaxy already picking up 3 corners, and you'd have to say it's real slick build-up play, but just lacking that spit and polish on the final finish. Nevertheless, corner number 3, Buscher standing over it. They'll bring up the defense of the tall timber. Out it comes on. Right off the foot of that defender. Sits up nicely in the center for Mendez. Estrada, Seattle striker, dropping all the way back before it's claimed by Arkeampong. Sends it right back into that danger area. And finally Fowler just restoring some calm to a Seattle team that's looked very shaky to start this one. A wide open affair to begin things, and Estrada crosses that midfield line with purpose. Left-hand side for Ibrahim Usman, the Nigeria under-20, rounds out that Seattle back four at left fullback. Haven't been exactly tough to break down. 25 goals allowed from Seattle, good enough for 8th most in the entire USL through their 13 games played. And a ball that goes astray that Fowler, I'm sure, would like to have back. Some high pressure starting to take a little bit of a toll on Seattle's distribution. So we're throwing on that right-hand side. Interesting setup with Ian Lonergan being recalled into the Galaxy team, one of those 6 changes, but operating in a central defensive role as opposed to a fullback position. And his Galaxy 2 have the free kick. Some real robust physical play to start this one. We'll see what the Galaxy draw up here. They've really lacked that extra sharpness on dead ball opportunities, which seem to be all the rage in Russia during the World Cup right now. It's been a World Cup decided largely on set-piece opportunities. We'll see if the Galaxy can replicate that here in the early stages. Just 9 minutes in, already knocking on the door numerous times, and it's the young 16-year-old Efrain Alvarez, part of that Mexico under-17 setup, and he's got a cultured left foot, hits it well, sends it right into Fowler, who had to keep his concentration. You see the threat that Alvarez has. Wasn't easy, a little tricky that time as it was dipping over that wall. Alvarez certainly did well to get it up and over, but just lacked the necessary power to really be a serious menace to that Seattle defense. Busher drops it back. Lonergan picking out Ulysses Yanez, who's really been a bright spot this season. The only Los Dos player to feature in each and every one of their 16 games, and it's a loose ball sent up, and toe poke a little too heavy for Estrada. Good coverage back there from Ian Lonergan. Wide on the right now. Push for Pong, who can't keep possession. It's dogged the Galaxy just a bit early on. Here's Ian Lonergan, does well to get underneath it. This is where they could use a good spell. Dropping centrally now is Busher. The 25-year-old German has the option of Yanez, who's kept his run onside, cuts it back, beautiful ball squared across. And Lopez was making that run straight to the middle of the penalty area, but just a little bit too far behind the Cuban striker. Here's John Raquel, who's been a mainstay at left fullback, and he's done well to take an adventurous run forward before he's sandwiched between two Sounders defender. Referee not interested in the call. Touchback now for Lonergan. We'll see how Lonergan acquits himself. Looks to be a back three with the likes of Raquel pushing farther forward. Towards the middle for Alex Mendez, is playing up there by himself. And it'll come out of play for a Galaxy throw. Los Dos had 3 wins, 9 defeats, and 4 draws. Trying to get back into the playoffs after missing out on a miserable 2017 campaign. It's been hit or miss. It started horribly wrong. The Galaxy 8 winless, turned things around in April, but trying to right the ship again. It's been a real seesaw season, just trying to find some consistency. And wide on the right here. Good play from the Galaxy's Nate Schultz, operating wide on that right-hand side. And Schultz will opt for the big switch, getting underneath it though. He's at Seattle defense. Nicely played by Denso Ulis, the Haitian who makes a lunge for it. It will be a Galaxy throw. Two clubs with senior MLS team parentage. So a chance for these youngsters to really stretch their legs in a busy part of the year. And perhaps, just perhaps, raising some selection problems for their respective senior team head coaches, Brian Schmetzer and the Galaxy's Ziggy Schmid, as that one will be offside. Free kick now for Seattle. It's a team in Seattle that did qualify for the playoffs last year, finishing in the 12th position, amassing along the way 19 defeats, the same exact total as G2, going with 8 wins as well as 5 draws coming into tonight. It's a team that had amassed the 3 victories in their first 13 games along with 8 losses. So plenty of room for improvement as Mendez shoulders off the likes of Daly, does well to pick out Raquel, and it's a real strong challenge on this right-hand side. Well played, you have to say, by Hopiau. And here come the Sounders. Hopiau doing brilliant. Hopiau, and that one blocked nicely by Apia. It drops for Daly. And here come the Sounders, sizing up their chances. Low and hard, diving save, not made. And a strike put in by Ray Sari. Seattle open up their first goal of the night on the 14th minute. It's Ray Sari from about 19 yards away. Bumsteeg saw it late, a little careless. It all started with the brilliant tackle, one back by Hopia, went on a nice gallop forward and an amazing run. And opportunistically, it's squared across from Daly, who locates the likes of Sadi. And Sadi, who was on target last weekend against Las Vegas, grabs his second in as many games. And a big goal here to start the evening off right for Seattle. You could not have scripted it any better. And Daly picking up the assist on that. But it all started with some fine play from Shandon Hopia. So sorry on the board, and what kind of a look, what kind of a response will we see out of Los Dos? Their character tested early on here in their home stadium. So down goes Lopez, who's been forced to drop deep as his physical play continues. Lopez just met from behind by the tough tackling Tony Alfaro. Oh, beautiful step around here, and nicely played by the impressive Hopiao in Seattle. You can see the confidence starting to ooze out of his team. Daly tries to keep it in, but it trickles out of play, and it will be a Los Angeles throw. So the cage has been rattled. KO Company conceding the Galaxy for the 31st time this season. Coming into tonight, the Galaxy with their third worst defensive record in the entire USL. Something I'm sure that Mike Munoz has addressed in the lead-up and build-up to this evening's match. Touchback for the youngster Ian Lonergan. Just 18 years old, Lonergan, and part of that LA Galaxy Academy setup. Actually going with that attacking lineup. It's a 4-4-2, but really looking more like a 3-4-1-2. Raquel makes that run forward. The fullback showing some adventure. Are not met. A real tough tackling Seattle team right now. And they're going to be difficult to break down despite their record of conceding on 25 occasions. Perhaps a little bit misleading. Arkean Pong made by the robust challenge of Usman. Here's Boucher, who's pulling the strings. Good support from Mendez. He's playing a little bit more withdrawn. Locates the likes of Yanez. Super turn from the young Ulysses Yanez, who continues to impress this 17-year-old. So much invention and creativity. And push forward now, and a chance for Lopez. It's a little too long, and it's Lopez. Well, just had to get his feet right. In the top of the box, it looks as though the chance may have gone, but he did well to recover and wrap his right foot underneath it, but unfortunately too far underneath as it sails high of Fowler's goal. This build-up play is really attractive and creative from the Galaxy. Showing some good stuff going forward. It was Lopez who did just enough to release the shot past Usman, but just lacked the necessary accuracy. But what a start to this one. It's been pleasing on the eye. Stark contrast to what we saw this morning between Spain and Russia, that's for sure. So pushed out wide for Nate Schultz on the right-hand side. Arkeampong makes that run. Flag stays down. 1v1 against Usman. Arkeampong fires to the near post. And it's well held that time by Fowler. The young 17-year-old acquitting himself well. Some nerves early on, but looked the part so far. He'd love to get a clean sheet in his USL debut this season. Usman trying to play it down the line as Estrada makes that flare run away from goal. Daly attacking the center of the penalty area now. The goal scorer, Ray Sari, finds the back of the net, bringing his season total up to 2. Both of those coming in the last 2 games. It sails out of play. While we've got a moment, Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Galaxy trying to find a sense of calm, but it just straddles that far touchline, throwing it midfield now for Seattle Sounders, who've got that 14th minute strike under their belt, thanks to Ray Sari. Now in his 2nd season. part of that Tulsa Golden Hurricane setup in college. Nice little program they've got in Oklahoma. Adventurous ball now as Wingo forced to drop deep, wide on the left-hand side. Good link play for Estrada, the veteran, just touches it past Emmanuel Appiah, but it's a good recovery out of the back by Boucher, who did well to cover, but it comes up second best. It's going to be a late call on the foul, so the free kick in favor of LA. Just trying to wipe aside the poor start. Coming into tonight, a team that hadn't found the back of the net 354 minutes. Now bringing that total up to 374. They've come out with attacking purpose. They've created the better chances as well, despite having some long spells of possession for Seattle. Alvarez can't get a hold of it now, and the dangerous Hopiau lays it back. Daly, the goal scorer, Sari, plays in that deeper role. Sit just in front of that back four, but you've seen his goal-scoring exploits as it finds its way to the Panamanian Francisco Narbon, who I'm sure is still feeling the elation after Panama's first ever trip to a FIFA World Cup, which ended at the group stages, but nonetheless a feat to be admired, making it to the big dance. Narbon for Sari. Had success going direct, square back across. Daly makes himself available, and it's Daly keeping that one low and hard. Not fooling the keeper, Justin Baumstieg, at all. Baumstieg opting to go pro, spending some time in the lower divisions in Germany after playing for his father at UCSB for a year. Signing with the Galaxy last year, he made 4 appearances. Here's Requejo for Lonergan. It's been a good response from Los Angeles after the Seattle goal. Casual ball that time for Boucher, just inviting the pressure. It's a high line that Seattle liked to play. So a throw-in for Los Dos. 3 wins, 2 defeats, and 2 draws here at StubHub this season. Not exactly a fortress, but faring much better than their trips away from home when they still have yet to record a victory on their travels. So they'll retake this one, and while we've got a moment, you want to get exclusive video content and photography from across the entire USL, well, make sure to follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer. So here's Lonergan, looking for some enterprise, and most of the success coming through Yanez, who's been brilliant so far. But careless ball now. Boucher just gives it away, and Wingo slips it past one, wide for Estrada. Flag is down. This is positive for Seattle. Estrada's cross, well blocked that time by Ian Lonergan. Far post, and that one, pretty much easy pickings for Justin Baumstieg. Lopez trying to latch onto it, and the hard-charging Jeffrey Arqueampong can't control it. County spending a bit of time arguing with the referee. Just the 1 yellow card doled out for Jesse Daly. Seattle team that managed to put together 7 shots on target on Saturday against Las Vegas. Unfortunately, though, the Lights were really feeling it. Put together pretty good output themselves, converting on 4 of their 9 shots on target. As that full-blooded challenge at midfield. And he'll come back for the Galaxy. Baumstieg under some pressure from Henry Wingo. Well won by Alfaro. Schultz a little too far under it, and fortunately for Los Dos, it'll come out for Los Angeles throw midway through the first half. Happy to have you along tonight on ESPN Plus. Talk about the most wonderful time of the year for soccer fans. That indeed is the case. Seattle blowing an opportunity after a piece of charity from Schultz, who gave it away straight to Daly. Fortunately for Seattle, Daly's ball a little too heavy for Estrada. LA dodge a bullet there.
Forward, go, take it.
Major League Soccer back after their World Cup break. The World Cup getting into the knockout rounds as Lopez makes the run. Sorry for Usman. Wingo. He's a handful, isn't he? Daly.
Shoot
At least joining in the attack. Good defending that time from Los Angeles' fullback, John Requejo. The USA under-20. And the product of Santa Barbara. Galaxy may have unearthed a gem in their new signing from Club Tijuana in Mexico.
Hey, we step on the throwback.
So a throw here for Denso Luis.
Away, John.
Teenage Haitian fullback.
Step, obvious step.
Good step forward that time from Sam Rogers, operating the heart of that defense. Sorry, rounds Boucher. The German just gets a foot in from behind, and here they come. The Galaxy looking to counterattack. Lopez has to check his run. The ball late. Flag is down. Lopez squeezes his way in, finds that seam. It's Lopez. He can't get the shot off. And some last-ditch defending and appeals for a handball from Lopez. Once again, not meeting the favor of the match official. Boucher gave it away, did well, found it straightforward. Had to say, good recovery back there from that Seattle defense. And that's Sam Rogers, the 19-year-old. Gives a little bit away in terms of pace, but at 6'3", definitely looks the part as one of those big, strong central defenders. He did well there in a 1v1 situation. Boucher for Schultz, down the line for Archaeampong. Better from the Galaxy. An incisive ball through, the run onside now from Lopez, lays it through Archaeampong. Sensational from the Galaxy. Well deserved and some slick passing. It's a goal of brilliance from Jeffrey Archaeampong, who grabs his first of the season. The Galaxy right back in it, 1-1. It took 12 minutes, but the reply was well worth waiting for. Is Archaeampong off some slick movement from Lopez and some incisive passing opens up this Seattle defense as Archaeampong sends it through a brilliant run, you'd have to say, from the Cuban, and just a flick out, first time finish from Archaeampong. A wonderful goal from LA. And that will end the drought for Los Angeles. Their first goal in 4 games. And their first strike in over 380 minutes of USL soccer. The drought is over, and they've stolen away. It's Lopez in behind, tackled in, Lopez doubles up, make it 2-2. And suddenly G2 is feeling it. 2-1 to the Galaxy. He played the role of provider, but this time he finishes very well, thank you very much. A huge goal for Frank Lopez, who grabs his second of the season just moments after setting up the equalizer for Archaeampong. Didn't he take it well? A defensive giveaway, and Lopez, you cannot allow him that kind of space and that charity. He had a lot of work to do as he eludes the challenge of Narbonne, goes far post, bottom corner, and just like that, the tables have been turned. A sensational piece of industry from Frank Lopez, the 23-year-old Cuban striker. And that's how goals come, they say. Thick and fast. And just like that, this match changes on a dime. They've looked the more dangerous team, and this time they make them pay. Lopez involved in both goals after the go-ahead strike from Seattle's Ray Saring. And that is where we stand now. Match that has been very open in nature. Two teams not noted for their defensive solidity and prowess. In fact, the Galaxy with just 2 clean sheets this season. Just 1 clean sheet for the Sounders. And here's Alvarez, who's been very quiet by his own lofty standards. Really nice to see him get back involved with this Los Dos setup. Youngest player to ever sign with the USL, 15 years of age. Just celebrating his 16th birthday a few weeks ago. It was a dangerous challenge moments ago, though, from Boucher. He's fortunate not to come away with a yellow card. Boucher has to tread lightly. One more booking, and he will miss the next match due to yellow card suspension with his 5th caution of the campaign. He's already been sent off once early last month against Tulsa here at StubHub. Here's David Estrada. Usman leaves it. Wingo provides the width on the left-hand side for Seattle. What will we see out of the Sounders is the question. They've got themselves their first corner of the evening. We'll see how they can profit potentially. Be a good test for this Galaxy back line. Anchored tonight by Emmanuel Appiah. And Jean Ingola, not part of the setup this evening. On the in-swinger and right off the head of Arkayampong, the goal scorer. So they'll bring it up behind Ibrahim Usman. Back to Fowler. That ball on a rope, but just too hot to handle, wide on that left-hand side. Ibrahim Usman likes to push forward from that left back position. Part of the Nigeria under-20 setup. Signed back in February from Equalizes down in Nigeria. Saw Nuhu break into the first team as well from that left back position last year. What a revelation he's proven to be for the Sounders. Requeo now picks it up. Boucher, the captain, forward for Yanez. He's full of all kinds of pep and endeavor. Ulises Yanez looking for some targets, but takes a ricochet off the defender, and Seattle comes away with it. They'll switch it up near side for Ulis. And that challenge met by Emmanuel Appiah, the Ghanaian-born defender. Spent his 2017 playing for St. Louis. And with his 12th start and his 14th appearance for his new club, what a vital addition he's been. Wingo slips right past Schultz. He's done well, Wingo. Sets it up for Estrada, flag is down, squared across and plucked out. Good goalkeeping by Justin Vom Steeg, you'd have to say. Mendez for Efrain Alvarez. And he wanted to pick out Yanez, but he couldn't make his run. That high line paying off that time for Seattle. And a risky proposition, as it's been broken on several occasions, but they will hold fast and true to their philosophy. Narbonne. Experienced Panamanian, back to the young teenager. His debut tonight. Fowler. Ulis did well. Hopiao. Clever touch. Paid the price on the tackle from Lonergan. Here's Estrada, the former UCLA Bruin.
Up, step!
Hopiao. Opts for the switch. Usman hits it first time heavy, though, from the young Nigerian. Easy in the end for the Galaxy defense. Boucher, calm ball out of the back, and here comes the hard charging Jeffrey Arkayampong. Head down, straight at Alfaro. Alvarez, met by a robust challenge. That's gonna be a free kick, and it was a real strong tackle that time. Tony Alfaro coming in very hard on Efrain Alvarez. But a good flow to this one. The referees let them play. Just the one booking. No doubt the challenges have been hard, especially in the early stages. But this has really put Seattle in a bit of peril. And Alvarez very, very slow to get up, the youngster.
Tony, five.
See the referee just having a word with the Seattle players. There's another look at the challenge moments ago as Archaeampong and the tail end of that tackle. It's Alfaro who comes in, and he came in high, and you have to say, from the second look at that, he's very lucky he did not come away with a booking here. Came in high on that left leg of Efrain Alvarez. And I'm sure the referee perhaps might be disappointed with his decision had he had the luxury of that replay, such as our vantage point. Nevertheless, it was Alvarez who came up worse for wear. He's made just a handful of appearances, but he's been so busy, Alvarez, with Mexico youth national team duty with the under-17s, playing in a tournament in Holland earlier last month, late in May, and confirmation of a late booking given to Alfaro. No doubt about it. Not much ground for argument for Tony Alfaro. Second yellow card of the evening. So Alfaro goes into the books for the second time this season. And a free kick now for LA as Alvarez very slow to walk off the field, being tended to by the G2 medical staff. Great crowd on hand tonight. Great night for soccer. Down here in the South Bay at the StubHub Track and Field Stadium. Nice little breeze, temperatures hovering just in the low 70s. Not much humidity.
Stand right there.
A ton of games here for Los Dos as of late. Before that loss on Wednesday to Tulsa, disappointing defeat in Oklahoma to OKC Energy.
One more.
And that came after that loss early last month here at StubHub to their SoCal rivals, Orange County Soccer Club, and a score of 1-0.
Henry, right side of Tony.
Old victory
Yeah, you're good.
in their last 4 games, coming against Tulsa back on June 2nd. So let's see what LA can muster up here. Apia standing over it. So the question is to whether it's Daly, I believe. Is he encroaching on 10 yards? They tried to pull back by Frank Lopez. So it's Busher to the left, the number 18. And Emmanuel Apia, the big Ghanaian defender, standing over the free kick off the routine. And it's Apia opting for power, but lacking any accuracy whatsoever. Now, just a reminder, fans, come celebrate the 4th of July with your LA Galaxy as they get set to take on DC United coming up this Wednesday on the 4th of July at 7:30 at StubHub. Be sure to stick around after the game to watch the Galaxy's annual post-game fireworks show. Tickets start at $30. Secure yours before they're gone at lagalaxy.com/tickets.
Go side.
Shannon Hopial, great ball across. Daly and Wingo fires. He took it first time, couldn't shape his body correctly. Too far underneath it was the former Washington Husky.
I'm here. No.
So many good players coming out of that Washington setup. Headed up, of course, by head coach Jamie Clark. So Raquel on the throw now for LA. Ulis. Brought down by Yanez. Alvarez back into the thick of things, but right away, attack looking for a little bit more support and service. Good passing out of the back from LA. Raquel on that touch from Yanez. He keeps up his run and does really well. Ulysses Yanez gets in behind Ulis. It's Ulysses Yanez. Calls his own number and not off by much. What a run from Yanez, who did well to start that move and nearly finished it off with the Galaxy's 3rd of the evening. Really good play between Raquel and Yanez, two of the mainstays of this Los Dos setup. That one fired just wide of the near post. So the Galaxy going back to live action, able to win it back. Boucher. And just getting stuck in now, and referee quick to the pocket. It's going to be a booking this time for Sari, the goal scorer. The third Seattle man caution from about 23 yards, 24 yards away from goal. While we've got a moment, you want to keep up with the best social media from around the United Soccer League? Join Kelsey Steele every Friday on the USL's social media channels for the latest edition of Off the Post. No doubt about that. So Ray Sari picks up the booking. We'll see what the Galaxy draw up. They've had some clever routines from these free kicks. 5 minutes to go until halftime. Boucher standing over it. Defers to Alex Mendez, trying to pick out that top corner. Perhaps a little over-ambitious from the young 17-year-old. He has yet to open his goal-scoring account this season. Boucher. Raquel's ball not good enough to find his way to Ulises Yanez. Seattle just their 2 points on their travels. As offside is called on Usman. Four defeats and 2 draws away from Tacoma for the men from the Pacific Northwest. Just a great little setup they've got there in Tukwila. Play a lot of their cup games there. I went too far, easy in the end for Fowler. So a quick pitch out. Rogers, big strong presence. 6'3". Alfaro. Daly did well to open up, but couldn't control it. The Galaxy happy to reclaim. What a ball from Yanez. He's in. It's Lopez, and what a tackle from behind. Alvarez puts it in the back of the net, but play had been whistled dead. Flag had gone up anyway as Lopez was in the offside position. But what a ball out it was to start this move. Given away. And Lopez off to the races as he's been all too frequently. That's a sensational tackle from behind, despite the fact that the flag had gone up anyway. Daly for Shannon Hopiau. And here he is. All kinds of pep in his step. Goes around the defense. Trying to do it all by himself to no avail. It's been one of the brighter spots for Seattle going forward on this right-hand side. I'm sure they want to have a bit of a rethink as halftime comes upon us. Keep it right here. Coming up at the break, we'll take a look back at some of the better moments of the first half and recap all the goals. Narbonne. Daly. Australian really offers a lot in the center of the park now. Denso Elise does well. Wingo dropping central now. Hopiau.
Tight! Tight! Force him back. John, step! Good, up! Left, Julian.
Narbonne. For the tough tackling, Tony Alfaro. Mexican-born defender. Certainly has high hopes for Mexico in their clash coming up against Brazil. At least puts one in, sets it up, fired in, and there's the equalizer. Wonderfully played wide from Ulis, who finds his way to Jesse Daly. And Daly evens things up at 2 apiece late in the first half. The Galaxy defense caught wanting, and Daly allowed to take a touch and make that turn. Good enough for Daly's first goal of the campaign. And just like that, the Sounders right back in it. It was almost lackadaisical here from the Galaxy. Denso Ulis did brilliantly on a square ball, simple ball in, and missing the challenge is Lonergan. It's a goal that really didn't offer anything too complex in the build-up, just this simple square ball across. The missed challenge from Lonergan opens it up. So Jesse Daly evening things at 2 apiece here as we head into the final minute, plus added on time at the StubHub Track and Field Stadium. The assist credited to the young Haitian Ulis, who picks up his first helper of the season as well. That's been one of the Achilles heel for this Galaxy team. Just consistency and concentration through 90 minutes. 2 minutes will be added on here at the end of the first half, and what has been vastly entertaining. Big long switch for Ismail Usman, and here he comes, does well, but straight into the path of Apia. Ibrahim Usman. Long searching ball, out comes Fowler, meeting the challenge of Lopez in a wide open net. A risky proposition. In the end, he does enough. It's something you see so much of lately. Goalkeepers almost used as a extra defender, sweeper keeper, as they say. That time, a Seattle stopper taking it to the extreme. May drop here for Alvarez. They want to get him more involved. Boucher did well. Couldn't hold off the challenge though. Sorry. He's got a real combative nature, Sorry. He's played himself in a nice position as well. Flag is down, and he's got Hopia with him on that far side. Wingo trying to angle one across and does. Good first touch from Hopia.
Tight, tight.
Here's Daly.
Up. Stop.
Seattle trying to close this one out. And they will do so on the ascendancy. The better team here in the last couple of minutes. Wingo does well. A pass one. Rogers, Daly, Hopiao, Daly fires straight into Apia. And it's Wingo, a little overzealous and lacking accuracy. And the Galaxy really sitting deep defensively and inviting this pressure and these chances. I'm sure that's going to be one of the talking points for Mike Munoz at halftime. And that's going to do it. Halftime upon us, 45 minutes in the books, and what a game we have got. And it started in the 14th minute as Ray Sari opened up the goal scoring on that ball played nicely from Daly. However, the Galaxy 12 minutes later with the equalizer from Arcampong on a nice ball from Lopez, but it was Lopez in the best move of the night with some clever passing and wonderful movement to make it 2-1. And of course, just before the break moments ago, it was Daly taking matters into his own hands to make it 2-2, and that is where we stand. Halftime here then at the StubHub Track and Field Stadium here in Carson. Our scoreline reads LA Galaxy 2-2, Seattle Sounders FC 2-2.
He cuts to the right, goes up against the end line, tries to get a cross away. He does, into the area. Bicycle in on goal. Score! Mauricio's in finals, and we're tied at 2. goes out a champion. Sensational.
Los Angeles, we welcome you back to the StubHub Track and Field Stadium. It is halftime here in the USL Saturday Night Classic developing between LA and Seattle. And both teams trading blows on several occasions. Wide open affair, and 2-2 is where we stand. It's been open in nature, slick and attacking. 3 bookings for Seattle. The only blight on this one after some real tough tackling, especially early on in the first quarter of an hour. But the Galaxy settling in well and getting the goal scoring going. That 380-minute drought, folks, is over as the Galaxy score their first goal in 4 games. With that being said, let's roll the highlights here, and a lot to get to in the first half. And certainly it was Seattle opening things up with the goal, but as we check on the highlights, they'll be coming. Well, certainly there was plenty to check on as the chances came thick, they came fast, and they came with abundance. And here we go. Los Dos losing out in. It was a nice little setup from this right-hand side, that brilliant run from Hopiao, thwarted by Appian. It's just a simple ball across from Daly. Sorry says, you'll give me that space, I will take it. Took an odd deflection on the way in, just enough to throw off Stieg. 1-0 to Seattle. And here's where the magic happened. Hopiao, instrumental in this goal. Great block from Appia. It falls for Daly, and Sari picks his spot with precision. 1-0. And Sari, the hot hand right now, wearing the captain's armband, his second goal in as many games, just the start that Seattle wanted. But 12 minutes later, Arkeyan Pong to Lopez, who did really well here to set it up right back to Arkeyan Pong. Wonderful understanding. He slots it home to that far post bottom corner. Arkeyan Pong with his first goal of the campaign, and we are level at 1 apiece. 2 minutes later, though, careless in the center of the park, and Lopez just robbing Rogers of possession, finishes it off by himself, and Lopez, who played such a big role in the build-up to the Arkeyan Pong strike, does it all by himself. And a huge strike for Lopez, who grabs his second of the season to make it 2-1 at this point. The Galaxy were flying, taking advantage of some real slack defending and poor distribution, but then perhaps a little complacency would creep in the late stages of half number 1. Just a simple ball across from Ulis. Poor defending that time opens it up for Jesse Daly, who opens his goal-scoring account for the season with just the simplest of touches. Takes it with the touch first and hits it on the second time right past Stieg, who's beaten for the second time. The Galaxy can only look on in despair as Seattle battle back. So both teams coming back from a goal down to level the score in what has been perhaps one of the more interesting and entertaining first halves we have seen all season. All right, we're going to take another quick break here on ESPN Plus, but keep it right here. There's more USL soccer coming up right after this.
A salute is certainly in the works. Thank you, Marcel. Marcel Schaefer playing it. Can he service one in? Goal! Leon Taylor for Marcel Schaefer.
There's no question we've had our fair share of impressive free kicks this season.
Van Avon off the crossbar and in, and it's 1-0 Reno.
Here comes Malcolm, takes a shot, and he scores! Shane Malcolm off the free kick, puts Switchbacks FC on top.
He lines this up, he's going to drill it hard. Curling ball, that's in, it's tied to 2-2. What a free kick. Really looks interesting.
Here is Kuze curling it! Sensational strike from Kuze!
Enter now, pocket of space.
Deflected strike, that's a fantastic save.
Dykstra just rolled through my ball still loose in the area.
Left foot, Van Oekel had to come up with the save.
Good build-up play. Wakaso shoots. Great save by Nelson.
Now it's going to be Benjamin, and out sprawl. Gomez comes up with a big six.
In space. This is played back across for White. Saved by Crapo. Sanovic on his left. Seth Sanovic.
Shot on goal, it's in. Cameron Owasso with number 6 on the year.
Shipolati staying with it. Shipolati back across, yes! And how about North Carolina FC? Got some help. This is a shot that finds the back of the net. Upper last man back, and it will be Reed who will score again. Reed inside the 18. Left-footed strike, and it's a hat trick. For number 30.
Shot comes on, and Akira able to use his fists.
Omar can't finish. Great save with the left foot there by Marcinkowski.
And we welcome you back to the StubHub Track and Field Stadium, a classic unfolding before our very eyes here tonight on ESPN+. You call it the USL Match of the Week, but it's the LA Galaxy and Seattle putting up 4 goals here in the first half. Both teams battling back from a goal down. Hey, the defense hasn't exactly been watertight, but this one has offered all kinds of goal-scoring fireworks going forward. We're going to step aside one more time, but perhaps that fireworks will continue. Don't go anywhere. The second half from Carson coming up straight ahead. Stay with us.
My world might be on fire, but I run faster on high, 'cause it's the beat that I
And the final 45 minutes is upon us as we get set for the start of the second half between LA and Seattle. It's USL action coming your way here from the Western Conference on ESPN+. I'll tell you what, the first half or the second half is any bit as good as the first half. We are in for a treat. Happy to have you along tonight from the StubHub Track and Field Stadium here in Carson, California. I am Christian Miles, and it has been an absolute pleasure here in the first 45 minutes. It was Ray Sari getting things started after what was a shaky beginning for the Sounders. On the 14th minute, the Sounders drawing first blood from some porous defending by the Galaxy to make it 1-0. Jeffrey Arcampong, though, with the reply on some real slick passing moves and build-up. The goal was a long time coming. The Galaxy creating the better of the chances, and it paid off just 2 minutes later as Arcampong found his link up with Lopez on that charitable giveaway from the Seattle defense. However, resting on their laurels was the Galaxy defense, only to see Jesse Daly tap one in from close range off a square ball from Denzel Ulis. And that is where we stand as we get set for the final stanza here. These two, of course, in the first of their two meetings of the 2018 USL season. They will do battle coming up in October up in the Pacific Northwest in Tequila. But the time is now for two teams reeling in the Western Conference. We talked about how vital it was to take maximum points because realistically, a draw does not do either side any good at this stage of the season. Coming into tonight and after a busy slate of fixtures on Saturday evening, LA Galaxy finding itself on 13 points, 11 adrift of 8th place Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. And even worse for Seattle, 2 points and 2 places below LA. The Sounders second bottom in the Western Conference. Realistically, if either of these two are going to make the playoffs, that road needs to start right here and right now. Victory is of the essence. Great crowd on hand here at the newly refurbished StubHub Track and Field Stadium. Chancho's Tacos in effect. Fans loving each and every minute as they come out in force. And what is turning out to be a wonderful summer of soccer, MLS, USL, and of course a little thing called the World Cup, which is in the midst of the knockout rounds over in Russia here in 2018. The stakes very much equally as high, but with different perspective. The Galaxy trying to wipe aside a 3-match consecutive run with defeats. 1 win in 7 games for Seattle Sounders, looking for bigger and brighter things after a humiliating loss in Vegas last weekend, 4-1. 3 victories apiece for both of these two. Something has got to give. Seattle has asked the questions of this LA defense. Their physical approach has gotten underneath the skin of Mike Munoz's men on several occasions, as evidenced by the 3 bookings, but LA able to weather those challenges, settled in nicely, and developed a good flow and rhythm. And most importantly, some wonderful attractive attacking play, carving open this Seattle defense on numerous occasions. And I'm sure that's one of the big bright spots here for head coach Mike Munoz. He wants to see more of that, and maintaining their concentration at the back will be paramount. 6 changes tonight from the team that lost in the midweek in Tulsa. The new goalkeeper, Justin Baumstieg, a familiar face to these Lostos supporters, conceding twice in the first half in his 7th appearance of the campaign. No clean sheet for 2 of the more charitable defenses. So goals very much in the offing, and we will see a switch here at halftime here for Seattle, and they will bring on their Cameroonian under-20 central defender, Rodrigo El. So El will come on and take up his role alongside Alfaro. So an interesting move here as Narbonne will push higher up into the center right now. So we'll see what's in store. So Sam Rogers off, and a rejigged central defense right now for John Hutchinson, the Australian head coach. No changes for the Galaxy at the break for Mike Munoz. It's as you were. Seattle very much hoping that the second half continues. That fine finish to the first. Here's the opening goal scorer tonight. Sorry, the combative one. Sahel, who actually started on Saturday, beginning on the bench and back into the fray here for the final 45 minutes. We'll see how he settles into that partnership with Alfaro. Long hopeful ball down that right-hand side. Raqueo did well, and the smart choice defending. Tell you what, Denzel Ulis, the right back for Seattle, has posed many dangerous threats coming down that right-hand side. Some real talented players, Seattle, in those wide areas, the likes of Wingo, Hopiao, and Ulysse. It's broken now for Sari, just trying to throw that final ball through for Wingo. Cleaned up at the back by LA's Emmanuel Appiah. Didn't he do well to elude the pressure? Wheeled himself out of a difficult proposition, but it's high pressure right now from the Sounders, making life a little difficult and uncomfortable. Headed down into the path of LA's Archeum Pong. Alvarez did well to lift it over the top. This is pretty soccer, folks, from LA, and they're rewarded for all their endeavor with a foul. No doubt about the technical ability of this Los Angeles team. They've got it in spades, but can they put it together with a consistent end product? Efrain Alvarez wide on the left-hand side as Raquel has come forward, supported by Mendez, who mishits it first time and out of play. Not the best of ball from the 17-year-old Alex Mendez. Galaxy with 3 points can move level with OKC Energy. They can take a win tonight and end that 3-game losing streak, putting themselves 1 point adrift of Las Vegas. So a touchback for the debutante goalkeeper, Sam Fowler, the young 17-year-old. Had some shaky moments, as you would expect, but he's, all in all, on the balance, shown well. Appiah putting Lonergan under pressure. Good ball over the top, misjudged, now it drops. Here's Efrain Alvarez. As pretty as it gets, a cultured left foot and a sensational goal from the teenage phenom, restoring the lead. It's LA 3, Seattle 2. Efrain Alvarez receives top billing, and there you see why. His 7th goal of the campaign, just 3 weeks after his sweet 16th birthday. What a player and what a finish. Takes advantage of that ball through, and Efrain Alvarez maintains his composure, opens up those hips. Thank you very much, far post. Good night. And Los Angeles with a dream start here in half number 2. Well taken by Efrain Alvarez. You see why he's so highly regarded and why he was the youngest ever player signed by the USL. And they've opened it up again. A give that made them pay occasions already, nearly a third. Just on the edge of the box. Well, foul certainly could have carried over inside the penalty area. My goodness, that was close. Nevertheless, the free kick will present itself. You got to say, big break here for the Sounders. So we'll see what the Galaxy drop. Boucher standing over it, just on the edge of the box. And some extra words being exchanged as temperatures begin to boil and tempers flare between Jeffrey Archeampong and I believe is Rodrigue El. The referee will be very well advised to pull these players aside, talk to the captains, and restore order right now. You don't want this tarnishing, which has been a great first 50 minutes or so. So it will be a booking to Lopez, becoming the first man caution for LA. So Frank Lopez dealt the yellow. That will be his 3rd yellow of the campaign. And we'll get back to the free kick, which was the order of the day. Boucher, as it shadows the edge of the penalty area. This could be a profitable moment for the German. He hits these well in training. And he put it to good use in a game. It's Boucher. And doesn't get the dip. And plenty of upward trajectory on it, but difficult to get it up and over and under in such a close proximity to the goal. Oh, heavy touch this time from Fowler, escapes the challenge. Dodgy moment back there. Hearts aflutter, you could say. And here comes Sari, leading the charge for Seattle, who's offered a lot going forward. Wingo checks back. He eludes the challenge of Mendez. And it will be a Galaxy throw, despite the appeals from the Seattle winger. Here's Rakeo, ever present this season. Alfaro. Sari. Costly ball, nicely anticipated by Lonergan, who steps into the attacking half. Sets it on that far side. Trying to work his way through. It's Yanez poking it into the side netting. Decent effort from Ulises Yanez on some great play on a step forward from Ian Lonergan. Yanez just making a cone out of Rodriguez. His mobility is too much for the big Cameroonian. Yanez was so impressive, despite not playing a direct role in those Galaxy goals in the first half. Continues his fine play down that left-hand side. Here's Requejo. Boucher loses out. Wingo wins it. Here come the Sounders. Wingo puts in an early ball, well tended to by Appiah and cleared away by Los Angeles' Ian Lonergan. Archaempong. Oh, and that's a nasty challenge from Francisco Narbon. No doubt of challenge. Appiah trying to go the direct route, but the pacey Usman. He's not going to give up much in terms of pace. It's the goal kick coming up now for Sammy Fowler.
What the fuck?
It'll drift out of play for throw now. Nate Schultz to take it. Oh, poor ball from Boucher. Didn't see it. Estrada now, and here come the Sounders. Shannon Hopiau was drifted over to this left-hand side. Estrada plays it through. Hopiau was offside. Hopiau drifting in and out of this game, but he has offered a lot going forward for the Sounders. Switching flanks here in the second half. Just the one sub as El came in for Sam Rogers in that Seattle defense. Wide for Ulises Yanez. Rounds his way past the defense, sets it up. Boucher couldn't control it, but keeps possession. Mendez. Poor ball, but cleaned up nicely. Tidied this time by Appiah. Efrain Alvarez gives it away. Straight to Narbonne. And here comes Seattle once again. Trying to hit on the break. Wide to the right-hand side. Wingo. Estrada, the diving header over the bar. Beautiful ball played in that time from Henry Wing. Have that one back, and that really should have been the equalizer. So Seattle showing some of that Los Angeles vulnerability on the counterattacks. It's in Wingo, the danger man. He started out on the left, now on the right, and Hopiau is drifted over on this left-hand side. Here's Usman. Hopiau, the aforementioned, tried the no look, and Appiah did not bite. Tell you what, he's had a good outing in defense, but loses possession. Hopiau trying to link up with Sari to no avail, and here comes Archaempong. Big, strong Ghanaian. Galaxy in no hurry right now, as Appiah not the best of balls for Lopez. El Daly, it's offside against David Estrada. It was about a yard off. Not a lot for Justin Vom Steeg to do despite being beaten on those 2 occasions. Alvarez, good ball forward for Mendez, wheels his way past Wingo. Direct ball played forward. Here's Yanez going to work. He's chipped up from behind, and the Galaxy will have themselves a freak in a very advantageous situation, and El is going to get the booking as well. So 13 minutes after coming on, Rodrigo El given the yellow card. Silly challenge, another look at it here. Correction, it's going to be Denso Ulis. Ulis coming in from behind. Unnecessary challenge, you have to say, from Denso Ulis. The L was right in front, able to make that challenge. So Ulisse grabbing his 4th yellow of the campaign. Ulisse, as they say. Meanwhile, it's belted by Mendez. Pure class from Alex Mendez on the hour mark. The goals are coming, and they are coming in style. 4-2, LA. So Alex Mendez at his first goal of the campaign, and I tell you what, he opened up his account in grand fashion. Thought it was going to be Yanez, but how about this for a left footer? Gets plenty of curl, whips it across the face of Fowler. He's left to pick it out of the back of the net. Alex Mendez, by way of the U.S. or the LA Galaxy Youth Academy. First goal for Los Dos, and a sensational free kick. So it'll be Gabe Threadgold coming on for Seattle in their second substitution, and Hopiau off. So 2 substitutions utilized from John Hutchinson. And it's broken up nicely, and here's Efrain Alvarez, and it's all come undone for Seattle. 5-star second of the evening. The Galaxy are hitting new heights. 5-2. And it's 5-star. All the goals from some questionable defending and from the usual suspect, this time Efrain Alvarez. Just takes it by himself, rounds the keeper. You know he's got the composure. That's why he's caught the attention of both the U.S. as well as the Mexican national team programs. Makes it look so easy. So Efrain Alvarez now brings his goal-scoring total up to 8 this season, and that will see him surpass Ethan Zubak for tops on the team. My goodness. Three goals in 13 minutes, 2-2. It's Alvarez on target twice, sandwiching the strike from Mendez. Off that sensational free kick, they're trying to outdo each other. And suddenly, what was just a slight molehill to climb has turned into an entire mountain for Seattle. The visitors just losing their concentration and seeing it fall apart. Alvarez, Boucher, sensational volley through left-hand side for Ulysses Yanez. He's in behind. It's Yanez! Just wide. They're getting in behind as Seattle go in search of those goals. And of all the players who hasn't hit the mark, brings to the setup right now. Have to make that attacking switch, so Miglietti will settle into that center of the park. They're going to go with 3 at the back here. They're forced to at this point, really nothing to lose. Seattle, high pressure from Los Dulces, they smell blood. They know that Seattle have had their problems with distribution out of the back. Wingo, head up, and off to the races down this right-hand side. Beautifully played for Seattle. So they played their hand, and still 25 minutes left. Let's see what they offer up. LA's come forward, short corner, blocked that time from Rakeo. It'll be a throw. Not the best of deliveries from the young Cameroonian, that's for sure. Yanez did well, but tidied up by Sari. Seattle looking a far cry like the team that hung in there in the first half and actually led this game for a solid 12 minutes in the first half. Really haven't seized control of it though. However, the Galaxy have been the better team as reflected in the scoreline. They have had their miscues at the back. Third time this season, the Galaxy have scored 5 or more goals in a single game. Put 7 past lost Vegas. And of course, they had that 6-goal outburst against St. Louis. That one in that 6-3 defeat here at StubHub back in early May. Alvarez. Apia. Alvarez just wheeling his way around. At times he makes a mockery of opposing defenders, but such is the immense level of his skill. And while we've got a moment, fans, come celebrate the 4th of July with your LA Galaxy as they get set to take on DC United on Wednesday, this 4th of July at 7:30. And be sure to stick around after the game to watch the Galaxy's annual post-game fireworks show. Tickets start at $30. Secure yours before they're gone at lagalaxy.com/tickets. Yanez. Good hold-up play. Doesn't have that breakaway pace, but he can get in behind. Just has that ability to wriggle past defenders. Alfaro plucks that one out of the air, but it drops to the feet of Busher. Here's Efrain Alvarez. Yanez on the overlap. Rakeo is there, squares it across, and I'll tell you what, that's another great piece of build-up play and enterprise from LA. You wouldn't have seen that from this Los Dos team a couple of months ago. Tidy passing, good movement off the ball. It's been crisp. Mendez sends it in. Lopez, just like that, but he's offside. It was a wonderful ball in from Mendez, and Lopez took it well. Close to his second of the afternoon. Tough to tell from that angle. He tried to play himself on as he was well aware of where that last Seattle defender was. Galaxy back to work next Saturday. They'll have a week of training before they head down to Orange County to take on OCSC. And 4 days later, returning home to take on Red Hot Reno 1868, who, folks, are on a 13-game unbeaten run, the hottest team in all of USL. It's going to be tough. They round out the month with a home clash against Portland Timbers 2. 1868 team. Talk about having your work cut out for you. Jesse Daly, you tied things up just before halftime. A clever ball through as Wingo tried to release Estrada. He's been playing that lone striker role up there on his own. He's found chances hard to come by. Just that one header and that beautiful ball played in. So Thread free kick. One of the 3 Seattle substitutes. Here's Milietti trying to play it forward, making it pretty difficult that time from Threadgold. part of that Seattle youth setup. Such a great program. And Adrian Anauer and company have really developed up there. Headed up by Ezra Hendrickson back in the day. Now we're seen by John Hutchinson. Quickly taken free kick. Miglietti trying to find Estrada. Good reading of the game from Lonergan. So back for L. Wingo. Daly. Guzman will arrive on the left-hand side from his left back spot. That's a very poor ball. They had problems with his distribution and passing today, Guzman. Schultz makes it difficult for Appia. Tell you what, Appia has been nearly flawless. Has not put a foot wrong at the back tonight for Los Angeles. Boucher under some pressure, gives it away. Miglietti only too happy to oblige. Leaves it for Sari. Well closed down by the German. Trying to atone for his mistake. Space opens up for Wingo. Right on the right for Estrada. Waits for the overlap. Ulisse arrives. Great looking cross, but just a little bit over the head of Threadgold. And Boucher bringing down Gabe Threadgold.
What's your right? Nate, find a man. Nate, find a man.
Have Seattle thrown their best punches? Is there anything left? A little short on ideas. Daly puts it in. Appia able to head it clear. Chased down by Gio Miglietti. Seattle team that was really plagued by all kinds of defensive problems last year, and they conceded 61 occasions. And they've gotten forward here. They want the penalty kick, but they're not going to get it this time. And off to the races is Lopez, who slips around. Such a tricky proposition. And here comes the hard-charging Frank Lopez. Just one man to beat it to Ulisse. And it's Lopez. And it's a last touch from that Seattle fullback that avoids disaster. You think a half dozen goals, and it's good night. Lopez does well. Ulisse had to come across to cover. Left a little thin at the back. He had the angle this time, Ulisse, and it does go off the Haitian. Quickly taken on the corner kick. Number 4 of the evening right now for Los Dos. They fire, but straight in to Fowler. Over the head of Estrada, and Appia does the right thing. Could have put his keeper under pressure, but leaves it for Schultz. This is Lonergan for Requejo. Remember, Los Dos conceding at 64 times last year. Very, very poor defensive record, really mirroring the defensive problems that the senior team had. And they conceded over 60 as well in MLS. Yanez was to go off on those runs. Cleaned up at the back on the right-hand side. Trying to set Ulisse on his way. He's playing more advanced here as he pushes for a Seattle goal, but time of the essence as we move into the final quarter of an hour tonight. Great to have you along on ESPN+. First of 2 meetings between these two Western Conference rivals in this 2018 season. Wide on the right-hand side. This is Wingo trying to work its way through, but it's offside against Enzo Ulisse. So it'll be a free kick here for Los Dos, and they're going to make a double switch. And it's going to be an attacking 1-2 punch that will come on. Their second top goal scorer, Ethan Zubak, who's seen the goals dry up despite recording 2 hat tricks this season, getting set to come on, along with Adrian Vera, who was one of the better performers in 2017 going forward. Finding the back of the net on 6 occasions. So they'll await confirmation to be waved on by the referee. Appia, meanwhile, at the back. Arcampong gives it away. Mendez cleans it up for Efrain Alvarez. Busher, beautiful stuff here. Alvarez, a smart ball for Yanez. Danger lurking. It's Busher. Intricate passing between Alvarez, Mendez, and Busher. Just sensational on the buildup. They're given that space. They make him pay. Alvarez, the beautiful ball out. Yanez arrives, squares it across, and Busher has to put that on target and work the keeper, but he doesn't. They won it back behind Arcampong, who is dispossessed. Those passing and those swift movements have just bamboozled Seattle's defense on more occasions than not. Meanwhile, it comes out wide for Henry Wingo. As well to sidestep around the defender, tries to push it through, but John Raqueo says not this time. Daly for Miglietti. For LA. So Zubak on, Lopez off. Lopez with a wonderful performance, involved in the first 2 Galaxy goals. And we'll see Yanez come off as Adrian Vera will come on. Like for like. I have to say is Zubak will take his place up top, and Vera will move wide on the left-hand side of the attack. Not too shabby when you can bring in your second top goal scorer off the bench. And a guy who found the back of the net on half a dozen times in 2017. Vera making his 10th appearance of the campaign, and it will be Zubak taking the pitch for the... And while we've got a moment, voting is now open for the USL's monthly awards for May. Make sure to cast your vote for Player of the Month, Goal of the Month, and Save of the Month this weekend at USLsoccer.com. I'm going to go ahead and make a correction there. I'm sure it's probably for the month of June. Usman. Just not good enough from the young Nigerian, whose passing game has left a bit to be desired. Alfaro, Miglietti, good first touch this time, wonderful play. Here's Sari, Wingo calling for it. Tries to play it on, had to check his run, Wingo, to stay on side. Headed to by Vera, and it will be an LA goal kick. Well, just when you think they've turned the corner, just haven't offered much, Seattle, in that final third. Of course, the Galaxy, with that 3-goal advantage, content to absorb much of any possession from Seattle. Remember, 3 points to the victor would do the Galaxy a world of good and move them level with OKC Energy through 17 games played. OKC, of course, with a game in hand, having played one less. But with a busy month coming up and some tough opposition in the next 2 games, it opens up Estrada, and it's taken. Caught everybody off guard. Quickly taken, the Galaxy defense caught napping once again, and it's Estrada who opens it up now. His 7th goal of the campaign, first goal of the second half here for Los Dos, just falling asleep at the wheel again. Quickly taken, and nicely taken. Physical, lacking that concentration, and it comes back to bite them. So 5-3 right now off the Estrada strike. The Galaxy far from home and dry. Plenty of time. There's 10 minutes plus added on time here at StubHub Track and Field Stadium. Push it forward for Estrada. Perhaps this will lift their confidence. Sari, who started it off way back in the 14th minute. Usman, better touch from him this time. A lot of white shirts back there. The Galaxy playing 11 behind it. Result far from assured and secure as Daly leaves it. Usman, good control. Nice looking cross. Tended to by Requejo. Well, it's never assured with this Galaxy defense. Have had some giveaways. So, Kampong off, and Jorge Hernandez comes on. Hernandez, traditionally a right fullback, can play a little bit farther up in midfield as well. You got to think that's a defense-minded sub this time from Mike Munoz. So it'll be the third substitution and the final for the Galaxy after that double switch earlier with Vera and Zubac coming on. So the free kick now is Vom Steeg, who's not had a lot to do, just the one save and conceding once in the second half after those 2 goals allowed in the first. Sends it forward. A good sense of air composure from Justin Vom Steeg. His offside is called against the Sounders. Miglietti sends it forward for Estrada now. And here come the Sounders looking to hit on the break. Wide on the right for Wingo. And just slowing the tempo. It's when they're at their best, Seattle, on those counter-attacking opportunities. Miglietti switches the point of attack for Threadgold, who can't keep it in. 84th minute. Still some time for Seattle. The Galaxy, who started this season with 3 draws and 5 defeats in their first 8. Just 1 win in their first 11. From the looks of it tonight, they're not playing like a team that is 11 points out of that last play. A late season postseason. Remember, they missed out last year after finishing 13th with just 31 points and 8 wins. Miglietti for Henry Wingo. L. Came on as a halftime sub for Sammy Rogers. Daly felt the pressure, did well. He's the linchpin in the center of the park for the Sounders. Usman.
Stop! Stop!
Daly looking for a way through. Wingo now. Comes out wide on the right, good looking cross, and the header from Ulisse. It's gonna be difficult. Wasn't the best of balls in. He's trying to drop it off the top, but it sails comfortably over Vom Steeg's bar. And while we've got a moment, you can watch highlights from every game of the 2018 USL season and bonus content from the league by subscribing to the league's official YouTube channel at youtube.com/USL. Not much in that chance, but it's been better from the Sounders here in the last 10 minutes. And here they come again, wave after wave, but that final ball from Sadi just too hot to handle for Estrada. Estrada, the old man in the field. Years of age, born in Mexico, raised in Salinas. Local UCLA product, playing for Jorge Salcedo. Here's Zubac dropping into his own half, locating Requejo. They haven't found the link between the lines. LA in the last 10 to 15 minutes. Certainly not what we saw throughout large stretches of the game. Busher. Decent touch, did well to fight through it. Jorge Hernandez, the substitute, just came on moments ago. This is Schultz. Getting a roll and a run out at right back tonight, Schultz. Zubak in a 1v1 against Tony Alfaro. All 7 of Zubak's goals coming in just 3 games. I mentioned the 2 hat tricks for Ethan Zubak. As it comes into the path now for Vera. Squares it across. Buscher. On that final ball from Buscher was nearly there. Efrain Alvarez was sitting on it. One more touch, and we're looking at a hat trick from the 16-year-old.
See it out, see it out. Come on. Yeah, well done.
So the time ticking away now for the Sounders. On the verge of losing their 3rd in 4. Talked about the ebbs and flows for LA. Their last win coming early last month at the expense of Tulsa. Since then, 3 consecutive defeats without scoring a goal. My, oh my, they put that aside. And just when they want to be clicking ahead of that trip down to Orange County next weekend and the visit of Reno 1868 4 days later. And here's Efrain Alvarez for Los Angeles. Sets it up, good head up, wonderful ball out to relieve some of this pressure. Zubak now. Working on Alfaro, it's Ethan Zubak. Couple of feints. Alfaro not biting, and a good piece of 1v1 defending from the Seattle center half. Zubak just looking for more consistent output. He had that hat trick against St. Louis in May and had another hat trick later in the month in 8 minutes against Las Vegas. Daly. Wingo. And joining in is Rodriguez. Daly, nice turn. And met by a swift challenge of Lonergan, who read it very well. He's done well, Lonergan, in his center half role, despite being at fault on one of the goals. Able to play across the back line as a fullback, whether right or left. Now acquitting himself rather well in the center of the park. Tough position to really acclimate to, as you've seen predominantly Angola and Apia as that partnership preferred at the back for Mike Munoz. But 3 games in 8 days, trying to rest some of his stars and make some of those players available for Ziggy Schmid in the senior team as well. So 2 minutes will be added on. Is it a bridge too far? It looks to be the case for Seattle. Miglietti. Estrada wide. Chasing it down as Wingo did well to keep it in. And here he comes, twisting and turning. Wingo gets that one off. Defended nicely at the back by Lonergan. So the Galaxy will record their 4th home win of the campaign. It'll be victory number 4 in total. That one pops up in routine fashion for Justin Baum Stieg. Making things interesting in the race for the playoffs. Plenty of soccer remaining. 34 games are played in the USL this year. Galaxy at the halfway point, and here it is for Jorge Hernandez. It sits up nicely for the fullback. A little bit more advanced here in the second half. Buscher now for the overlapping Schultz. And LA will just be content to keep it in the corners and let those precious seconds tick by. And more importantly for them, put that 3-game losing streak in the rearview mirror, and that will do it. The LA Galaxy bounce back in a 5-star emphatic performance at the expense of the Seattle Sounders. Goals from Arkeampong and Lopez in the first half. It was 2-2 at the break, and then it was all Los Dos. Efrain Alvarez grabbing 2 in the second half along with Alex Mendez. And Seattle just not enough to claw their way back as they got one laid on from Estrada, but too little too late. And the Galaxy just desserts tonight as they put on one of their better performances of 2018, lifting themselves level on points and overtaking OKC Energy in possession of 13th place in the Western Conference and putting themselves in fine fettle ahead of a visit down to Orange County as they get set to take on OCSC on Saturday before a home clash 4 days later against Reno 1868. It was in question at the break, but the second half there was no question, and the LA Galaxy record their 4th win of the campaign. And we're going to step aside, but keep it right here on ESPN Plus. We'll be right back with a full match recap, plus a look back at all the goals and highlights. But 90 minutes in the books, and full-time reads LA 5, Seattle 3.
Sensational!
Oh, goodness me! I love LA! Going in on the play, Kobe Jones
Yo, you wanna meet me in the East? Yo, you wanna meet me in the West? Yo, you wanna meet me on the block? Yo, you wanna meet me in the spot?
Unbelievable goal right there. A classic David Beckham goal. Sandrini feeds that in. A little low touch, and what a goal that is from Giovanni Dos Santos. Sensational! The Los Angeles Galaxy are rampant. Sandrini cutting back on Sandrini! How sweet it is! The Los Angeles Galaxy have their reward!
The LA Galaxy 2 taking care of business tonight at the expense of Seattle Sounders FC 2. 5-3 and a goal-scoring outburst here in the second half. 3 strikes in the second stanza, steering LA to their 4th win of the campaign and handing Seattle a big defeat in their quest to make the playoffs. So the Sounders go down to defeat for the 9th time this season. Let's take a look back at some of the better moments here, and a lot of goals to get to. In fact, 8 in total. And after a shaky start defensively here for Seattle, it was the Sounders really opening the salvo early on in the 14th minute, and they would start well. Good tackling down this right-hand side, and Hopia, who really was instrumental in the first half, off on a nice little scamper here, fires it in and has it blocked by Appia. Just a square ball from Daly for Ray Sari, who grabbed his 2nd goal in 2 games to make it 1-0. Sensational beginning here for Seattle. Things are looking bright until the 26th minute. Arkeampong does really well. Sets it up for Lopez, who returns the favor, and Arkeampong just hits it first time. Passes it into that bottom corner. Well played by the former Veracruz man to make it 1-1. Heads were up. Confidence was feeling really good after some real slick build-up play from LA. And it would be Lopez in the middle of it once again after a careless play at the back. And this was something that plagued Seattle all game long. Lopez, great strength from him to ride the challenge, and after playing the role of provider, Lopez grabs his second goal of the season to make it 2-1 on the 28th minute. But then Seattle would take advantage of some complacency. Lonergan dives in on the challenge, and that allows Jesse Daly with the tap-in of a simple square ball from Ulisse. 2-2 at halftime, and then the second half, an entirely different story. Some sloppy defending at the back, and this is a classy finish from Efrain Alvarez. Goal number 7 on the campaign, wonderfully placed, and then this is a sensational free kick from Alex Mendez on the hour mark. That would make it 4-2 at that point. Mendez with his first goal of the campaign, and a fine one it was, and then it would just go wrong once again for Seattle at the back, and it would be Alvarez walking it into the back of the net. That would make it 5-2. Alvarez grabbing the brace. Seattle looking like they're quite out of it, but they played themselves back into it late on, earning the free kick, quickly catching LA unawares, and Estrada fighting off the challenge for his 7th goal of the campaign. That would come on the 80th minute, but too little too late, and LA managed to survive it, but an 8-goal thriller here at the StubHub Track and Field Stadium. What a game it was. Up next for LA, they will be heading down to Orange County on Saturday, and then Thursday, of course, for Seattle, they welcome the visit of Swope Park Rangers. But that's going to do it for us. On behalf of all the good people here at the StubHub Track and Field Stadium, my name is Christian Miles, saying good night from Carson, where LA beats Seattle 5-3. So long, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.